Hello, everyone. My name is Laura. I'm with Providence Public Schools, and welcome to the High School School Choice Fair. Now, if you need interpretation in Spanish, you're going to click on the globe button at the bottom of your screen, and you're going to choose Spanish. Jonathan, can you explain that?
So, otra vez, si está aquí en esta reunión y quiere escuchar esta presentación en español, si ven a la parte inferior de la pantalla el icono del globo, como mostrado en la pantalla, puede seleccionar español para escuchar la presentación en español.
Great. So today's agenda, we're going to start with an opening presentation about Providence Public Schools in general. Then, and you can probably see that we have lots of wonderful leaders from our different schools that are panelists, and they're going to be talking to you one at a time, and they have about 6 minutes each to talk about their school. We are also going to have a presentation from Manuela Raposa over in registration. She's going to talk about the school choice lottery. Then when that is done, we're going to open it up for Q&A. Okay, so we're not going to be taking questions in the middle of the presentation. When we get to Q&A, if you want to ask a question, you're going to click on the raise hand button. I don't know if you can all see that, but that is how you raise your hand to let us know. Okay. So, at Providence Public Schools, we are mentoring the next generation of leaders. Our welcoming school communities put the needs of students first, not just when it comes to academics, but also when it comes to their physical, social, and emotional well-being. I don't know if you can see this picture. I believe this is at Alvarez, but this was a special project where all the students who were there had their pictures taken, and they wrapped the whole building with their images. It was a great, fun thing that happened. And I think it happened at 360 and a couple of other schools too. So we have 9 schools. I'm going to run through them. We have 360 High School, and we also have Juanita Sanchez Educational Complex. They are actually co-located in a same building near Durbers Avenue. We have Dr. Jorge Alvarez High School. We have Central High School, Classical and PCTA. They are all together in one spot. We have Hope High School. We have, let's see, Mount Pleasant. And then again, I mentioned Providence Career and Technical Academy. Now, not all of these schools are open for the school choice lottery, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. So you may already know, if you've been involved in Providence Public Schools, that Classical High School, which is our blue ribbon school, one of the top in the state, if not the top in the state, that is an application school. So in the fall, people sit an exam, and depending on the results of that exam, they may get a seat at Classical. So that has already happened. Classical is not part of the school choice process. We also have several schools that are part of career and technical education. Providence Career and Tech, JSEC, and E-Cubed all have CTE programs, and they all had applications due for those programs in December. However, there is still a PTech program at E-Cubed that we have seats available at, and there are additional programs at, we call it JSEC, that's Juanita Sanchez, available there. So you can still apply for those, and there are seats available in both those. Also, many of our schools also have career and technical education pathways that are filled based on interest. So we have some flexibility with the seats, and that includes Alvarez, Central, Hope, and Mount Pleasant. Okay. Now, talk about our daily work. Our Providence Public High Schools offer rigorous, culturally relevant instruction that accelerates student achievement. That's really important right now, that we are focused on that during a time of pandemic. And many of our schools have put in additional interventions to help lift students up and improve performance and give them supports. We also have knowledgeable counselors and advisors that help guide our young adults along this unique career and college paths. So it could be that you are looking for work immediately out of high school, and we can help you with that, particularly if you're in a CTE program. We can connect you with internships. We also have great career counseling and helps with things like the FAFSA application for financial aid. Oh, and I recognize somebody in this one. She looked up. Renee, our assistant principal at Central High School, Renee Walker, is here in part because she got assistant principal of the year in Rhode Island recently. You can't tell. Yay, that's right. You can't tell, but I know that she is smiling behind that mask. Our caring staff members, they serve as role models for all our young people. They understand that that's part of their job, and they take that very seriously. And one of the wonderful things about our high schools is they also prioritize student voice, right? So we're really helping to build not just good students, but leaders in the community and in the world. Yeah, I love this picture. Go Hope. We have blue wave, right? So beyond the classroom, each of our schools has a different menu of athletics and extracurricular activities to enrich our students' educational experience. And we really encourage our students to explore these because high school is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It is not just about seat time and homework. It's about a whole experience, and our schools work so hard to create that whole experience for you if you take advantage of some of the options that are there. Now, in Providence Public Schools, each of our schools, our high schools, has a slightly different feel and culture, but all come together and are united behind these three pillars, which is engaged communities, excellence in learning, world-class talent. Those pillars are something that have been determined by our community through community design teams, and we have a series of strategies that we are doing to improve in all of these areas as part of the state turnaround action plan. And again, the turnaround action plan was it was designed by the community to help the community. So it's a nice piece of community voice and action. So that is what I have, and we're going to turn it over to the panel discussion so you get to hear from some of these leaders. Now, I'm going to start by introducing you to Francisco Velasquez. He is a principal at Hope High School. Francisco, you are up.
All right, good evening. My name is Francisco Velasquez. Excuse my voice, I'm fighting a little bit of a cold, but I'm the principal of Hope High School. This is my first year as a principal. Been at Hope for 3 years. Went to school in Providence. So Providence product, Nathaniel Green and Classical High School. A little about our school. Our vision is to develop well-rounded, confident, responsible individuals, lifelong learner. We do offer a variety of courses from AP Stats, AP Spanish, AP Bio. So there's we're trying to expand in the AP courses as well for our students. In language right now, we have Italian and Spanish. We have French. The French program will be available next year, but we're phasing that program out. Our main two languages are going to be Spanish and Italian. We do have two strong CTE program, being JROTC and in fine arts. But we also have a very strong music program. We have a really great band. If you haven't seen it, or if you've seen it perform, they do an amazing job. And also our computer science program we have for students as well. We offer many different activities after school through a partnership with PASA. Those activities are usually created based on a survey that they take from the students, from one-on-one basketball, painting, drama club, science Olympia. We have an LGBTQ club, yearbook, student government. We're also working hard right now. We had 25 students meet last week in bringing a strong student government back to the school. We also have Project Open Doors. You know, in the summer, this past summer, we developed a relationship with a program where they are creating, they build a few gardens in the back. We hope to grow that. Some students were able to obtain summer jobs, and that was a great opportunity for a lot of the students, especially for some of the students in our special ed program. Usually the population has difficulty finding jobs, so we are making sure that we're supporting them through the year. What else about Hope? It's an amazing, it's a great place. You know, we try to support our students through morning program, after school, tutoring as well. We have a strong relationship with Brown University and RISD. Right now we have a strong tutoring program with Brown, where students can get tutoring in-house and also virtual for those students who are not able to make it to school, either they're sick or because they're, you know, just trying to stay safe at home because of COVID. And in terms of support for social and emotional for our students, we have a substance abuse assistant counselor. We have advisory block for individual learning plan to support all our students. We have our guidance counselors. We have a social worker and a school psychologist as well. What else about our school? In the sports, I didn't want to brag, but now that they send the picture there, you know, we are champions. Last year, it was a challenging year, but we ended with a championship. That was amazing. So I'm gonna rock it. We also celebrated our wrestling team. We have an amazing wrestling program. We have amazing sport overall, but I'm gonna brag about the two that the baseball was the first championship in 79 years, but we're champions now. So in the wrestling team, Coach Ed German, who was elected this year's Male Coach of the Year by the Rhode Island Interscholastic League. So bragging about that a little bit. We offer girl and boys soccer in the fall, cross country. We have American football as well. In the winter, we have indoor track. We have basketball, wrestling, girl volleyball. And in the spring, we have baseball, outdoor track, and also softball. You know, we are, how much time do I have left? I want to make sure I don't go over time. I have a minute left. So I want to tell you, come to Hope High School. It is a place that is definitely growing. Our building seems all in the outside. There's a lot of love and learning happening in the inside. And that's it. You know, I look forward to seeing you guys here. I usually choke up a little bit because I am a Providence product, and just happy to be talking to our young people in our family, and being part of this panel because to me, being part of Providence and graduating from Classical and Nathaniel Green, and now leading one of the schools here, it's a great experience for myself, and also for our students who are going to be applying here. So I am even using my tears to recruit for my school. We're an amazing place, and I look forward Sorry, Renee. I look forward to seeing you guys here. So thank you for your time, and welcome to Hope High School.
Well, you know, we're so proud of Francisco, and so many of our graduates have gone on to do wonderful things, but it's great to see somebody who goes through the system and then comes back to give back. So we heart you. I was trying to. Before we move on to the next one, because I see that we have some more people who have joined. Jonathan, can you explain about interpretation again?
Yeah, so for any families that want to, I'll say it in English and Spanish, for any families that are on here that may need interpretation in Spanish, you can click on the world icon at the bottom of the screen. Para la familia que necesitan esta presentación en español y acaban de llegar, si ven a la parte inferior de la pantalla el icono del globo, pueden seleccionar el idioma español para escuchar la presentación en español.
Great. I'm also going to let people know that in terms of the Q&A, we open that up after all the presentations are done. All right, so we're not going to do Q&A until we are done with our presentations. Next up, one of my favorite people, Rich Norris, who is the assistant principal over at 360 High School. Rich, you are up.
Yeah, hello everybody. This is Rich here at 360 High School. Since we shot out where we went, Francisco, I'm a Gilbert Stewart guy. So Gilbert Stewart is where it's at, is where it's always going to be at. But my heart is at 360 High School right now. And I just want to tell everybody about, why you should come and check in with us. I wanted to come to a high school that I could see my own kids coming to, that I also reminded me of a high school that I went to. 360 is a small school on the south side of Providence in the Juanita Sanchez building, about 300, 400 kids. Small learning environment. The student to teacher ratio is great. And I know every kid's name in the building, name and face in the building. And for me, that was important to know. So anybody that's new to the building, I can tell the first day that you might be new here. One thing I really enjoy about working here is the teacher and student relationship is excellent. The last survey we did, a state of Rhode Island survey worked. We were ranked in the top 90th percentile in the country in terms of how students felt safe and the relationship that they had with the teacher. So that's really important to me. So if you're looking for an environment where, your students and the instructors actually have a great relationship, I think it's a great place to come, and somewhere that's very small as well. The other thing I think you would really enjoy about working or coming to this school as a student at 360, you have a learning environment that is rigorous. Each year we start to add to the rigor. So I can tell you, if this is a place where you want to come and just hang out, it's not going to happen. I'm going to be very honest. This is not just a hangout spot. The people who try it here sometimes understand that, no, we're going to try to make it uncomfortable. So we want you in class because your education means everything to our community. I grew up right on the South Side. I came to this country as a refugee at 12 years old, so I understand the role that education plays in your life. So I can tell you, families, if you and kids who are watching, if you want to come and just hang out and just chill, this is not the school for you. Academically, we're picking up, we're growing our numbers, so we're trying to increase the academic rigor every year. We have a very good supporting cast here for you, your guidance counselors, your teachers. We have an advisory system where advisors check in with students one-to-one. We have tons of social emotional support. So let's say your kid's not, there's a lot of stress out there in the world right now, but we have enough people here at the school that can really give your kids the kind of support they need. So you don't have to do it by yourself. You have enough people surrounding them. I think another feature of the school you really would enjoy is the fact that we're really trying to turn the school into a maker-focused school, meaning that, we have a maker space here, a lab with heat press, 3D printers, graphic design, laser cutter. So we're trying to turn this into a making school, but that's just not in the maker space, in classes as well. So if a student can write an essay, potentially they can also learn how to write a book and how to produce a book. So it's not just writing an essay, but going through the whole process. So we are trying to turn 360 into a maker school. So whatever your interests are, bring it to us. If we don't have a program here and you want us to work on creating one, we're willing to work with you to create that program, because one of the biggest features of 360 is that the students and their families, actually, matter of fact, this school was actually designed by students and families. So when 360 opened, it was designed by the student and their families. So our student voices here is tremendous. We respect our student voices. We want our family voices. So we want you to be a part of continuously building the school. And if you think something isn't going right here, then, let us know. Hey, maybe we can get back to the drawing board. As for athletics, we offer basketball, baseball, football, softball, track and field, unified basketball, volleyball, and wrestling. And I promise you, any of your kids who want to get a one-on-one, please come to the gym. I have no problem going to the gym. And, I'm trying to catch a game with you. But you'll probably see me around the neighborhood too. So, I can still hoop up a little bit. As for after-school programs, we have morning basketball and weightlifting, culinary. We work with the Providence After Zone Alliance, and they really help with some of our programming. We have a business club here. We have the Gentleman's Academy, the Black Girl Magic Group, which is a space for African-American girls, and the girls group, which is also a space for Latina girls to kind of have the cultural relevant space. Like I said, I really would love you to come and check out the school even before you make a decision. If you want to, let us know. You're willing to call us and email us. And I'm open to any conversation, any questions you have about 360 High School. But come check us out. Like I said, I really love being here. I enjoy the work here. And I'm proud of being in this community, from this community, and working for this community. So, thank you for your time, and I appreciate y'all.
Thanks, Rich. And I have, if I were a parent, I might have this question. When you said unified basketball, and we're talking about unified sports, people might not understand what that is. Rich, can you explain what unified sports are?
So it's a combination of our students who are in special education program, who also work with other students in the school. And there's this league, they go, you have coaches and they compete against other schools in special education programs, Special Olympics around Rhode Island. So it's a great way for students who are not in special ed program to also build a relationship with other students in the school. And we have what we call ECS classrooms in our school. But just because students have different abilities doesn't mean they're different, and they're human beings just like everybody else. And so we try to form that relationships between the different groups of students. So that's where unified basketball come into play. And it's actually, it's awesome to go and watch. I'm trying to coach this year because that's the only thing I can really do this year.
Can I tell you that I know several of our schools have unified sports programs, and Mount Pleasant's team a few years ago actually went to the National Special Olympics. So next up, Assistant Principal of Central High School, Renee Walker.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Renee Walker. I am one of the assistant principals at Central High School, which is located in South Providence, probably a stone's throw from where I grew up. I will trump both of the two gentlemen who just spoke, as I will also include that I went to Sackett Street Elementary School, then to Nathaniel Green. I was the first Black student allowed at Nathaniel Green's gifted program, and then graduated from Classical High School. I'm the first Black woman in Classical High School's Hall of Fame. So I've never strayed from South Providence. I'm back there, very proud to be here in Providence doing my thing, and your kids will want to come on over to Central as we are working very hard to give our students a personalized learning experience. And that's as personalized as you can get with 1,100 students. So you may say to yourself, how could that happen? We are currently offering some of the most dynamic CTE pathways in Providence. We started that. We have a partnership with Roger Williams University to offer law, public safety, and security. That is combined with forensics called CSI style. We just started the EMT strand this year. And next year, we are debuting this information right now. You'll be the first to know that we are launching, in conjunction with the Providence Fire Department, the first Providence Fire Academy in high schools in Providence. We work very hard to have our school be physically safe as we are changing culture at Central High School. We have started something called the Central Cares Initiative. Through that Central Cares Initiative, we are a restorative justice and SEL, social emotional learning school. So we believe in serving the whole student. We do restorative circles. We do peer circles. We have a partnership with the Rhode Island Juvenile Court System to start some peer mediations next year in our building. And what we are very proud of is that we have done a complete flip of a couple of things that Central used to be famous for. We have cut suspension numbers by almost 90%, while we saw our graduation rate go up over 95% this past year for the first time in Central's history. And we credit our Central Cares Initiative for raising the bar, not only raising student voices, but we are set in a trauma-informed care system where we create an emotionally safe environment as well. And the team is always available to your student for any kind of emotional issues. We extend that out to families. We also have the Central Cares Food Pantry. We had that started with COVID, when COVID came in, and we have continued it. And it's a great way to help our community and our families. We do not participate with PASA, the after zones, but we do have between 15 and 20 extended day programs running at any time through the new Urban Arts program. There are programs that range from computer graphics to girls' voices. We have a book club in conjunction with the Providence Public Library. We do Sisters That Cook, encouraging our Black and Brown females and males to come in, and they get together with a group of older Black women that have their own group. They're called the Sisters That Cook, and they can throw down some serious soul food. So if your kid likes to eat, that's always a highlight. I'm an adult that likes to eat, so I'm often there. And our sports, I know my predecessors have already spoken of theirs, but I will brag that Central was the first city school to win a Division I state football championship in over 25 years. And the gentleman that was in the picture with me at the beginning of this all, Michael Washington, is the two-time reigning coach of the year for Division I football. That means that he competes against the big boys, LaSalle and Hendricken. And he is also a Central grad, Providence native, who is just always here. He's one of our community and climate culture coordinators. And he's always there with me trying to change the culture. We have a saying that your kids might like, we do it one starfish at a time. And, something Rich said that I liked is, this is a new Central, this is not your parents' Central. It's not a place to come and hang out and think that you're just kicking around and hanging out and walking over to Burger King. This is a place where you're coming to better yourself and better your future. So come on over to Central. You want to be with the movers and shakers.
Wow. I'm a big fan of Central because they give me ice cream sandwiches on occasion because they're across the street, so they get extra points. One quick thing, Renee, you talked about peer mediation. Can you explain what that is?
So right now we actually have 2 tiers of restorative circles at our school. We have a restorative team for more serious infractions, the students who might be ready to come to physical turmoil, and that we have a team, and that's all adults. But what we are moving toward is with the Rhode Island Juvenile Court system, we are training some of our young leaders to sit on these panels for maybe not some serious infractions. As we know, students at this age tend to listen to their peers far more and appreciate the experiences and or the opinions of their peers, especially when it comes to their actions. So that's what we're moving towards to have set up for next school year.
And again, this is part of a suite of things that you are doing to try and address behavior in a positive way and not have suspensions, right? Okay, great. Great. So next up, Dr. David Conradi with Mount Pleasant High School.
Good evening. Like Laura said, my name is Dr. Conradi. Principal at Mount Pleasant High School. This is my 2nd year. Unlike some of my colleagues, I am originally from the Midwest and spent 20 plus years in some of the higher performing school districts in the state of Kansas, most likely the Kansas City metro area. So I'm new to Rhode Island. So one of the things that I think really we are trying to implement at Mount Pleasant is to create small communities because we are a larger school of 1,200. We're trying to create small communities of students. We do that with our 9th grade students and our 10th grade students by putting them on academic teams. So each team has 90 to 100 students on it. So much like you may see in middle school, our teachers get to know them personally. They know their names. And know when they have a bad day, a good day, and are there to help encourage them and get to know them very, very closely. We meet with those teams bi-monthly just to review students' scores or progress. And so we're really trying to make sure that our students are maintaining good GPAs, good attendance, and provides resources and the supports needed for them to do that. And of course, we're in our redesign process, so we are looking to increase the rigor of our courses. And going into next year, we'll have over 20 college-bearing classes through the advanced placement or AP opportunities for students. So before they leave high school, they could have up to 30 college credit hours through APs. So that's a perfect thing. As far as our culture and our feel of our students, one thing I can really talk about is we're recognizing our students on a weekly, monthly basis through their teams. We have a Kilty Pride Matrix. Pride stands for perseverance, respect, integrity, dedication, and excellence. And we're recognizing those students on the teams that are doing those things, even if they're making small improvements. And we are recognizing them for positive contributions through breakfast. We had pancake breakfast this week for 2 of our teams. We had pizza parties last week. So we're trying to recognize those students that are doing the great things. And again, there's a lot of students that are doing that. Something I think our school is really proud about is the central role the students are taking in the redesign process. We have several committees of students that have been essential in writing our new mission and our vision, creating what they want to see and envision in the new images and the redesign at Mount Pleasant High School. Like other people have said, this is not your parents' Mount Pleasant. We're trying to create a new image, a new brand where you're coming to work, you're coming to achieve, and you're going to do well. With our social and emotional impacts, again, 9th and 10th grades and 11th and 12th, we have some smaller communities we've created within the school that teachers know them specifically. We're also implementing some social emotional curriculum in our advisories for our 9th and 10th that is going to be taught by some of our juniors and seniors. So creating some of those mentoring opportunities from our upperclassmen to our freshmen and sophomores. One thing I think we talked about too is redesigning what it means to be college and career ready. So upping the rigor in our classes so our students can perform at a high level when they leave the next aspiration they have after high school, whether that's a career or whether it's going on to a college. So with that, we have, like I said, the 20 different AP courses that they can partake in, anywhere from studio art to history to biology to chemistry, physics, programming, computer programming, and we're looking to add more of those here in the future. We do have 3 different CTE clusters in Mount Pleasant. We have the Teacher Academy, where students can come in their freshman year, learn about aspirations of becoming a teacher, and all the way into their senior and junior year, where they're going to elementaries to teach and tutor younger students. We have a computer science through University of Rhode Island that we're accredited with, where students can earn hours going into the computer science programming and get hours that qualify for URI that flows right into their program as well. We also have a pre-engineering program that we're expanding next year. Currently, our pre-engineering, very similar, is a 4-year process. We have, we're adding courses that's more hands-on, and we're adding an advanced manufacturing. So it's just not going to be for people who want to go straight into engineering, but different avenues into advanced manufacturing. We have a partnership with Polaris here in the state of Rhode Island. Along with that, we are adding a lab where students can create 3D opportunities, 3D products, mill things, and do a lot more computer graphics that will go along with our computer science programs as well. Athletics, I think, like minis, we have, with a larger high school, we have a lot of different opportunities for athletics. We have many sports such as football, boys and girls soccer, cross country, volleyball, boys and girls volleyball, wrestling, boys and girls basketball, indoor track, baseball, softball, boys volleyball, outdoor track, along with our unified volleyball and basketball. This year, we recently added cheer as an activity in sport, and we're going to be reestablishing our gaming club for next year. Much like that, our wrestling team is currently 7-1. Our basketball, boys basketball, were in the quarterfinals last year, the semifinals before going to state, and our girls basketball has won 2 straight state championships. So we have a very good history of doing very well in those programs, and our football team traditionally has done very well. We also have a band program for those that want to be part of that. We're expanding that. We've added that, and we're bringing back debate and forensics to formalize some of those opportunities to enrich students' minds and activities. After school, we have many different clubs such as robotics, forensics, debate, gardening club, tutoring. And we have many clubs that change from year to year based on student interest. Students come to us with ideas all the time about what they want to see for a club, and we make it happen, and then we find people that can do that. And as far as decision making in school, I think one of the things we talked about, our students and families are directly involved in that. We have a strong student government, which we are increasing their ability to help make decisions at the school level, what's best for students and what they want to see happen.
Dr. Conradi, this is, I love all the great changes that are happening at Mount Pleasant. I wanted to point out that your band and chorus are actually unified, just like there's unified sports. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yes. So I love that format. And I know that even though you're not from Rhode Island before, you are now from Rhode Island and you like our state the best.
Of course.
All right. Next up, we have Robin Mathis from Dr. Jorge Alvarez High School. Hi, Robin.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Virtual High School Choice Fair. My name is Robin Mathis, and I'm the assistant principal at Alvarez High School. I've been an administrator for 21 years in Providence, 21 years, yes. And I want to thank everyone for taking time this evening to spend with us. I'm very excited to share with you some more information about our amazing school. Alvarez High School, we try to emphasize and educate our students around our core values. We call it POWER, right? So P for perseverance, O for optimism, W for willingness, E for empathy, R for respect. So our hope is that our students will display power values in the classroom every day and also outside of classroom in their everyday lives. Our students are hardworking, they're special, they're motivated, they're kind, they're creative, and they're diverse. And so at Alvarez High School, we strive to impact our student learning by guiding students in discovering their own strengths, their resilience, and personal achievement. We're really excited this year coming up about our CTE programs that we're offering for next year. We have 3 pathways. We have a health science nursing pathway, and we have a pre-nursing focus in this pathway. We have CNA certification along with EMT certification. A second pathway we have is what we call our education pathway. This pathway is an open enrollment for 9th grade students preparing to become teacher assistants. And we also help prepare students that are interested in pursuing teacher education programs on all levels, elementary, middle, and high school. Our last pathway is our computer and our data pathway. And this pathway is for students interested in pursuing the fields of computer and science technology. This pathway is also an open enrollment 9th grade, and it works with companies such as Amica and IGT. Students at Alvarez like to have fun, and we have many extracurricular activities they can participate in. We have an interscholastic partnership with Mount Pleasant High School, where students at Alvarez are able to participate in all sports: football, basketball, wrestling, cheerleading, soccer. I mean, the list goes on and on. And we also have intramural sports where students are on campus and they have basketball and volleyball and softball clubs. When we have our students participate at Mount Pleasant, we provide all transportation for them to get there and to school and to the activity and back home. We also have before and after school activities and clubs, and our clubs are sponsored through a 21st Century grant with the Boys and Girls Club. So students generate ideas for all our activities and all our clubs on our school campus. And each year we have new clubs and activities that are added, but it's all student centered and it's all student generated. At Alvarez High School, we also encourage students to be active participants in their education. We offer advanced course network with a dual enrollment at local colleges. We have a Rhode Island early college program at Alvarez High School, along with 7 advanced placement courses. We have a special community at Alvarez, and we call ourselves the Alvarez Eagles. And we call ourselves the Eagle family. We encourage students to voice their concerns and engage in everything we have during the school year. We value diversity. We celebrate diversity through our academic programming and our special events each month. The support we give for students socially and emotionally, we have a wellness team. And this is composed, of course, of our school psychologists, our social worker, our 4 guidance counselors, And we also partner with our family services that are housed right in our school. And we also have a Rhode Island student assistant counselor. That person's also housed in our building. Lastly, we'd like to involve our students and families in our school decision-making. Principal Bia hosts a coffee hour every month for our parents. And we also host our monthly PTO meetings for our families. And we have a very, very active student government at Alvarez High School. So we are really, really excited about this upcoming year. And we want to thank you for coming to this fair. And we hope that you choose Alvarez High School. And we're the home of the Eagles. So have a great evening. Thank you.
That was wonderful. Go Eagles. So next up, Gavin Adams. Gavin, are you ready? Dr. Adams, are you ready to go with Juanita?
Yes, I am. I'm here. I'm ready. Thank you. So good evening, all. Thank you for joining in today. Originally, I'm from New York City, but more importantly, Providence, Rhode Island is now my home. And what's more important is that you're here with us today at this moment, thinking about the next steps in your academic career. I'm representing JSEC, which is an acronym for the Juanita Sanchez Educational Complex. Sorry, that's my daughter in the background. JSEC is a small school with a big heart. With approximately 350 students, we are a close-knit community. The JSEC Kindness Crew, a student club focused on spreading kindness and maintaining a positive school atmosphere, is one of our more defining features. JSEC is also a CTE pathway school, which requires an application. As such, we offer rigorous learning opportunities in computer science, biomedical science, and we also have a teacher academy. Our curricula has been designed by some of the most well-guarded experts in education, including Project Lead the Way, Educators Rising, and Code.org. JSEC also offers advanced placement courses in English, Spanish, and computer science, with plans to add additional courses in psychology and biology in the future. JSEC is committed to student success, but not only do we offer credit recovery programs for students who need to make up credits, we also offer after-school success academy for students to receive extra tutoring and the opportunity to improve their quarter report card grades. JSEC takes the social and emotional needs of our students very seriously. We have a social worker and an assistant counselor on staff to support students. In addition, we have a culture coordinator who is responsible for supporting students in time of crisis and day-to-day. We also live our core values each and every day. Now, our core values can also be explained in terms of our acronym for the school, the J, the S, the E, and the C, which stands for Journey to Your Best Self, Spreading Kindness, Engaging in Learning, and Collaborating to Fly. We teach our students lessons on these core values and support them in doing their very best each and every day. Our guidance counselor department begins talking about college and career readiness with students as early as 9th grade. The journey begins on day 1 at JSEC. We offer field trips to colleges and career sites. We sponsor career fairs on site, and we also implement a course for seniors called College Success Skills. All seniors take this course as part of their school day. It is a time for seniors to work on their college and career applications, financial aid, and more. Now, I can't brag about the championships because we haven't had so many banners in the past. But if you are an individual who wants to stand out and bring a championship to the school, then consider joining us. JSEC partners with Providence After School Alliance, PASA, to offer additional after-school activities as well. These activities change every season based on student interest. Some examples include the Fashion Club, the Art Club, Gentlemen's Academy, and morning sports as well. We also have a kindness crew, a student leadership group, and HOSA, which is basically for future healthcare or health professionals. JSEC has a parent ambassador on staff who works with families to recruit and organize parents on our PTO, parent-teacher organization. Parents can get involved in many ways, starting by connecting with our parent ambassador, who is a parent of one of our current students. If you have any more questions about the program, please don't hesitate to reach out to the school as well. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you.
That was great, Dr. Adams. Thank you so much. And, you know, we have to give the Patience Award to Mr. Tyler Dion, who is filling in for Principal Matt Judah today, because he is our 7th and final panelist. Tyler, you ready to go?
Yeah, I am. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for bearing with us. You know, I know it's a lot to ask for, you know, you to donate your evening like this. So I really do appreciate it. I'm Tyler Dion. I am from E Cubed Academy. I am the senior school community specialist there. It's a new position. I work as sort of with parent and family outreach, making our parents and our students feel welcome at E Cubed. And I really feel like that is our core value, is being a welcoming community. We're very small. That provides us with lots of unique benefits. We very rarely are over 400 total student enrollment. It really does start to feel like a family at E Cubed. Many of our teachers have been here for years. We have frequent town hall meetings by grade level. These are for different celebrations or addressing issues together as a community. We really believe in student voice in these issues. We believe it's very, very important for all stakeholders to come together, students, their families, as well as faculty and staff. We are a CTE school, as others have mentioned. We have the P-Tech program here. That is a type of computer science pathway where if students are able to complete the necessary requirements in their time at E Cubed, they are able to graduate from us actually not only with a high school diploma, but also with an associate's degree in a few different computer science fields. We have a number of AP course selections as well. We have these in science, English, history, and art, and we are working on adding some more, especially in math. We have a very dedicated culture team that is made up of both faculty and students. We work together again to tackle larger school-wide issues. We share our athletic programs with Hope High School. So in the fall, we have football, we have boys and girls soccer, we have cross country. In the winter, we have boys and girls basketball, as well as boys and girls indoor track. And then in the spring, we have baseball, we have softball, and boys and girls outdoor track. We offer in our school, we have extended day programs. These are a number of our teachers, Monday through Thursday, are in the building an hour early and they stay an hour after school as well. And we're here to help students with whatever they may need help with in their coursework. We believe in a rigorous education for our students, but at the same time, we believe in helping our students get there. We also have Saturday school every other Saturday. We have from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. We have Saturday school where, again, teachers from all different subject areas are in the building and students are not required to come, but they are encouraged to come if they need help in any sort of subject or whatever it may be. We also have student government in our school, as well as a brand new esports program that we are rolling out. It has not begun yet, but we are getting it ready to begin this spring, and we're going to offer it, every spring going forward. We're very excited for that, as well as we had mentioned earlier that we are an application school, but those applications were supposedly due in December, but we do still have a number of open seats. We're still accepting those applications. And we really, really hope that you'll choose E-Cubed, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.
Tyler, that was great. Last but definitely not least, good job. So next up, we have Manuela Raposa. She is our registration enrollment expert, and she is going to run you through how school choice works when you're going from 8th grade to 9th grade. Manuela, are you ready to go and you want to share screen?
Yes, I am sharing it right now. Hold on one second. Ooh, sorry. Okay, I'm ready to go. Hi, good evening. My name is Manuela Raposo. I am Director of Student Placement for Providence Public Schools. And I am here today to talk to you a little bit more about what is school choice and what is the process for the lottery, as well as the deadlines and all of the important information that you need to know in order to maximize your choice options. I will follow in the footsteps of the ones who have spoken before, who are from Providence. I am from Providence myself. I went to Mary Fogarty, Nathan Bishop, and then went on to Central, where I graduated. So I'm very proud to work for Providence Public Schools, to serve and to help our students as best as possible. So what is school choice? School choice means that families get to tell us their preference in schools rather than simply being assigned to a school randomly. School choice does not guarantee access to any particular school. However, more seats are reserved for neighborhood students, about 80%, than non-neighborhood students. So non-neighborhood seats are about 20%. Very important to note that siblings do have preference. So if you have a sibling in a school, more than likely you will get your choice of that school because you will have preference. So what is a neighborhood school, you might ask? For an elementary school, a neighborhood school is considered a school that is within a mile of your home. If you are a middle school student, it is a school that is within 1.5 miles of your home. And for high school, it is 3 miles. There are always a minimum of at least two schools that are identified as neighborhood schools for every student. Those will be the two closest schools to the child's home. So even if your closest school is more than 1 mile away and you're in an elementary school, or more than 1.5 miles away and you're in middle school, so forth for high school, you will still have two options to choose that will be considered your neighborhood schools. The closest over 1 mile, closest over 1.5 miles, and so forth. A student, however, might have more than two schools that are considered neighborhood schools. There are certain neighborhoods in our city where a parent of an elementary school student might have 4 neighborhood schools. So in order to understand the assignment, the process of assignment, you must know that the deadline for middle school, for middle school and high school lottery is February 11th. PPS students must ensure that their lottery forms are submitted on time in order to be able to participate in the lottery. So that's very, very important. They must be submitted before February 11th, or they will not be included in the lottery. So the middle and high school lotteries will take place on March 1st of this year. Students are assigned to the schools through a computerized student assignment process. If more students choose a school than there are seats available, then there will be an actual lottery. So the way it works is the first round assigns seats to students who have chosen that school. So first choice students get assigned during the first round. Second choice, those students that didn't get their first choice will get their second choice, and then so forth, third and fourth. Finally, any students that did not get assigned through the 4 rounds will be placed in the nearest school with available seats for their educational program. How do wait lists work? Well, wait lists will be maintained in every grade for every educational program where demand exceeds seats and supply. So students will be placed up to 4. There are 4 categories for the wait list. Category A is if you live in that neighborhood where the school is located and you have a sibling in that school, you will be put on the wait list in the category A. And that's the one that is moved first when we're moving wait lists. Category B is if you live in that neighborhood, you don't have a sibling, you just live in the neighborhood of the school of your choice. Category C is if the school of your choice is not in your neighborhood, but you have a sibling in that school. So you will be in the category C wait list. And category D is if the school of your choice is outside of your neighborhood and you don't have any siblings in that school. So each of these categories are held for each educational program. This is an example of what a school choice form looks like. You'll see that there's in the first section, it says student name, ID, current school, etc. That will be pre-populated for you if you're a current student of Providence Public Schools. If you obtain a form from the school or from the website or from the registration center because you lost yours, then please make sure that you fill out this section. Very important not to submit it blank. The second section is where you will be able to mark your choices. So you'll see that the high schools are listed on the left-hand side, and then you'll have first, second, third, and fourth choice. Very important that you mark your first choice school, a different school for your second choice, a different school for your third, and a different school for your fourth choice. If you are doing this process on Skyward, when you log in, you'll see this message and it'll let you know that you have to click here to fill out this form. Once you click on there, you'll see this form. It'll be pre-populated with your child's information. And then you go down to the second section and you choose a first choice, a second choice, a third choice, and a fourth choice. Once again, a different choice of school for every category. This is an example of how you can fill out a form correctly and how you can fill it out incorrectly. So the incorrect selection, you really want to go to 360. That's the only school you want to go to. Well, so you decide to just mark 360 for every single choice. That is the wrong way to do it. You are minimizing your options. The best way to do it is to place 360 as your first choice, then another school for second, another for third, and another for fourth. As you see in the second section, that is the correct way to do it. How do you maximize your opportunities to obtain the school of your choice? Well, first and foremost, you must turn in your selections on time. Be timely with it. If you miss the deadline, you miss the opportunity to participate in the lottery. if you have a particular school of choice, make sure you put that one as your first choice. But always pick other choices. High demand schools will fill up using first choices. Neighborhood seats fill up just as quickly as non-neighborhood seats in some cases. If you do not get into your choice, the school of your choice, you will be placed at the closest school with the seat that is available in your educational program. This may not be a neighborhood school if all of those seats have been filled. And finally, if you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to contact us at the registration center. The number is 456-9297. You can always email us, which is really the best option. Email us at inforeg@ppsd.org, or you can submit a Let's Talk via our website at providenceschools.org. Thank you, and good luck.
Hi, Manuela, can you stop sharing your screen? There we go. That was really informative. Thank you so much. Thank you. And for those of you who don't know, Let's Talk is something that you actually see as soon as you click on our website, and it works like a chat box. You can put in a question, and then people behind the scenes route it to the right person, and they get back to you pretty quickly. So that's what Let's Talk is. Okay. We are now going to open up the Q&A. You can do a couple of things. You can do the raise hand function, or you can put a question into the chat. Or into the Q&A. You can type it in, and I'm going to be monitoring that. Jonathan is our point person to see hands. You there, Jonathan?
Yeah, I'm here. So I have
Great. So
a couple hands up. So yeah.
okay, great. I want to start with the first one up here. One thing I want to say is if anybody has a question for Hope, can you put it in the Q&A right now? Because I know that Francisco Velasquez has a family commitment, has to go. So if you have a Hope question, you got to get it in the next 3 minutes. All right. And we will take it if you've got it. All right. One other thing that I want to tell you is when we're doing Q&A, you might have this urge because you get the platform that you want to ask all 5 questions that you have in the top of your head. That takes up time from other folks who may have the same or similar questions. We ask that you ask one question, and if you have another one, you can put your hand back up again afterwards, but we're trying to get to everybody, okay? So Jonathan, do you want to start?
Yeah, so I'm gonna start with Miss Jack. Miss Jack, if you wouldn't mind unmuting yourself and asking your question.
Hi, good evening. So we were new to the Rhode Island system in 2019. I do have a student that is currently at EQ, so I didn't fill out an application, so I didn't know there was a deadline for one. So now that they do have open availability, where would I go to complete the application process?
Tyler, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, so the reason, and I think I know your son actually fairly well, but the reason why he would not have had to complete the application process is because we only became a CTE school in the last year or so.
Okay.
So we only now, with our new applications, if you look on the Providence Schools website, I believe we have links to it there, but I am not sure if, in fact, if you actually want to privately in this, message me your email. I can get back to you tomorrow with that for sure after speaking to our guidance counselors.
Yes, I think I just responded to a message you sent me. So I'll email you directly in
Perfect.
regards to that, and then I'll put my hand back up for my next question. Thank you.
Thank you.
So what I would say to everybody here is if you have a question about open CTE, we're going to have two things at the end of this. Before we click off, I'm going to put on a Google form that you can put in your information and your questions. So then we'll have your email address. Okay. But you can also just call the school directly and ask. Okay. So before we jump to the next question, Jonathan, I'm going to say I see Cheryl on here. There was a question that came up in the Q&A about transportation. And if students get transportation to high schools. And Cheryl, can you talk about how that works?
Yes. Hi, Cheryl McCrate, Director of Operations for Providence Schools. In regards to transportation, students that live a mile or more from home to school will receive a RIPTA pass.
And one other one on here that I just want to grab. Somebody is asking me about Classical High School and improving their chances of getting in if they appeal. And I would just say that you need to talk directly to Classical about your situation. Okay. All right, Jonathan, back to you.
All right, so we have another question from Jeanette Severino. Jeanette, if you wouldn't mind unmuting yourself to ask your question.
Hello. Hello. Sí, buenas tardes. Yo quisiera saber que mi hijo está en la Roger Williams y él tomó el examen en la clásica, pero él no lo terminó. Entonces me mandaron una carta para que en la escuela de él manden el informe de él, como referencia de él, para ver si lo pueden aceptar allá en la clase.
So her question is that her son recently did the classical exam but didn't get to finish. And so her child's 8th grade school is telling.
No.
Say that again? The school that the child's currently at right now is asking, well, Classical's asking the school that they're at to send a letter over to see if they can be considered for Classical.
Understood. And we're going to tell you to talk directly to Classical about any questions about admissions or application. There is another transportation question in the chat. It says, what is the transportation to Alvarez if the road is closed? And Robin Mathis, you probably know a lot about that because I bet you know every back road there is to get to Alvarez High School right now.
Definitely. As I don't know if everyone knows, but the bridge to Alvarez High School is closed. So we go around, right? We go around it. I know I do it so that the buses, we go through Reservoir Boulevard to get there. It's temporarily closed, but we don't have an exact time frame of when it will be opening again. So unfortunately, it does take about 5 to 7 minutes extra to go around. But there's several different ways to avoid that area. But we have our buses, they seem to arrive on time. We just all know that it's just an obstacle right now, but it's not permanent. So again, we entered the school building from the Reservoir Avenue.
One more transportation question is about finding the RIPTA bus routes, and you can actually find them on the RIPTA website. So RIPTA has all of them listed. And if you have additional questions, I'm sorry, who was trying to?
Yeah, Laura, I'll just add to the Alvarez, if you are within walking distance to Alvarez, but the bridge out causes you to have to be obviously walking farther, you will get a pass as well. I'm not sure if that was part of the question.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So yes, and bus routes, some of the school websites do have them up, some of them do not. You're right. So we should address that, but in the interim, you can go to the RIPTA website and see all the different bus routes. Okay. Jonathan, to you.
Yep. So we have another question from Madadis. Madadis, if you wouldn't mind unmuting yourselves to ask your question.
Hello. So I have a question. When you do your high school application, how do you find out that if you got accepted to the high school you choose?
Manuela, you want to answer that one? You're on mute.
Okay, hi. So once the lottery takes place, you will be able to find out the results a couple of ways. You can go online on your Skyward account and find out. You will also be receiving a letter in the mail about a week to 10 days after the lottery. And you can also call, email, or Let's Talk the registration center 48 hours later, 2 days later, and find out the results.
Laura, I'm gonna say bye to the group. So thank you for the opportunity to talk to the students. Students, good luck. To my colleague, have a great day tomorrow, and I'll see you guys around. And good luck choosing your school. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good night, Francisco.
Jonathan, do you have any more hands raised?
We don't have any more hands raised, but we
All
do
right,
have.
I have a question in the chat.
Yep.
And it's for JSEC. It says, when are they starting the psychology program?
I don't have a concrete answer for that, but we're hoping to get it started within the next year.
Somebody is asking more about RIPTA information and directions. So I will tell you that every school, typically, when they do their orientations for new students, also gives out information about the RIPTA lines too. So if you don't see it on the website and you don't see it on the RIPTA website or you're confused about it, you will get more information about it. But I'm also going to add something in the chat here where you can just send me your email, ask your question, and I will see if I can get your specific questions answered. So I have another one on here. Oh, so what happens if you get accepted to a CTE program and you decide you changed your mind? Can you put into school choice now?
So I can answer that. So, 2 parts. So yes, definitely submit your school choice so that you get that in at the deadline, but then also reach out to the CTE office and decline that seat so that they do not place you in that seat. Also, if you have not heard about CTE or classical and you applied, I encourage you to still fill out the school choice form so that you have those options in while you may be on a wait list. Have all your options going. So if you don't get into that seat that you want, have these choices as a backup. So I encourage you to submit your choices by February 11th, regardless.
Any more hands, John?
Not currently, there's no hands.
All right, so somebody is asking about school tours, and we got this question when we did the middle school fair the other day too. I would reach out directly to the school. Some schools I hear are doing small groups. You know, it's difficult during COVID to have big groups of people go through because we don't want to expose not only the visitors, but we also want to be mindful of our students. But people are trying to work out ways to make this happen for folks who want to take a peek. So I would reach out specifically to the school that you're interested in. Okay, if that is about it, somebody was just asking me again about Hope, and I'm sorry, yes, the principal had to leave for, had another commitment. But I am putting in this chat a Google form. So if you have any questions, whether it's about a particular school or if it's about all high schools, just click all the ones that apply, put your question in and give us your email and we will get back to you and let you know. All right. So that is on there. Before we sign off tonight, I want to make sure that everybody on here sees that. Does everybody sees it in the chat? You should click on it now so it opens in your browser or your phone. So when we say goodbye and close out, you still have the ability to answer a question. All right. Going once, going twice.
We have one last question if we have time for it. If not, we can have them submit.
No, go ahead, John. We have a little bit of time. Not a lot, but a little.
So this is Mrs. Jack again.
Yeah.
If you can unmute yourself.
Yep. So for the high school students, they don't have the buses. They do have to use public transportation? Or are there buses?
There are buses for special education students or students that need transportation that cannot take the public transportation per an IEP or health reasons. But otherwise, everyone takes RIPTA.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. That was it.
Well, I just want to put a huge thank you out to all our panelists. You are all great. And I think you gave a real sense of the different culture and flavors of your school and the different offerings that are there. And I just really appreciate all the attention and time you put into your presentation. So thank you so much. We are going to record this, or we are recording this, and then we're going to put this up on YouTube. So if you have friends who couldn't make it and you thought this was valuable, you can tell them to go look at the video. Okay. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night.